Okay guys, it's Lisa Halligan at lisahalligan.com, and you're probably thinking, okay, what's with the hat? You're inside the house and you're wearing a hat. And for those of you who have only known me as an adult, you actually as a teenager too probably, you've probably never seen me in a hat. The one exception to that being the fact that we were forced to wear nursing caps to our nursing school graduation. Yay, those were terrible. Oh my gosh, those sucked. Anyway, so the hat. There's actually a story behind the hat, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Stories. The stories you tell yourself, the stories you remember, the stories other people built into you, and whether or not they're actually helping you. So let's get going. Now, most of you know I'm doing a 31-day challenge to do a Facebook Live every single day in December, and I will probably keep it up in January. Might be a Monday through Friday thing, but we'll see. But that challenge was issued to me by the amazing Jamie Donnelly, who is one of my prime mentors, and I love her to death. And so tonight I was on a webinar with Jamie and with the amazing Ellie Walsh, who I love. She was leading the class, and Jamie and I are chatting, chit-chat in the sidebar, right? And so she talks about how there are stories that we tell each other, stories that we tell ourselves from incidents that happened when we were younger. And those stories no longer serve us. They are harmful, they are hindering, they hamper us, okay? And I said, oh, I've got a perfect example, right? When I was 12 years old, I was in a department store goofing around, like 12-year-old girls do, trying on all the hats. Okay, now as a mom and a nurse, I think, oh my God, I hope there wasn't lice there. But at the time, I was 12 and didn't think about such things. And my mom comes up and I love my mom. Please do not get me wrong. I love my mother. And I know my mother loves me, but she gives a bunch of offhand comments a lot of the time, and she doesn't usually think them through before she says them. Sometimes she doesn't even think them through as she says them or after she says them. So then when you tell her, oh, you said such and such, she has no idea what you're talking about. None. It gets a little frustrating, but you learn to deal with it. I was 12, did not have the filters in place that I have as an adult. And her comment to me was, oh honey, you're really not a hat person. Those make you look fat. You need to take that off. And I have never worn another hat. Not willingly, at least. I've never worn. Now, that was probably okay when I lived in Arizona. But I have lived in Idaho for almost 7 years now. And it gets cold here. And I will shiver. And I'll wear a hoodie, but I usually don't wear the hood up. I have it if I need it, but I usually won't put it up. And I don't even own a hat. This is Ari's hat. This is why it doesn't fit quite right. This is Ariel's hat. And so I'm on the webinar tonight, and I mentioned this to Jamie, and of course, I love Jamie. You gotta understand, Jamie's a Star Wars nut, so she will get this. And Jamie's like, well, if you have something that's holding you back that much, you know what you have to do. And I'm like, oh, crap. I know what she's going to tell me to do. She's like, you need to put a picture of yourself wearing a hat on Facebook and tag me in it. And I'm like, no. The challenge was that I had to do a Facebook Live every single day in December. And she went all Darth Vader on me. She was like, I have altered the challenge. Pray that I alter it no further. No, she didn't say that. But, she would have if she thought about it. Because she is very Star Wars. Anyway. So, what I want you to do with this bizarre little story and me wearing a hat, enjoy the sight. I would have to buy a hat that actually fits before I could wear one outside. It was just really weird because all my kids have hats. I make hats for my kids. I make sure they have warm heads when they go outside in the cold. But I don't take care of myself the same way, all because of some offhand comment that I can guarantee you my mother does not remember making. I can guarantee you that. But I remember it. And so I want to ask you, what stories do you tell yourself that hold you back? What little, oh, it was, funny, but I didn't like it at the time, but now I can laugh about it, are you really not actually laughing at? Are they holding you back? I want you to examine those stories that hurt at the time, and you tell yourself, because you're a positive person. That's what we have around here, right? Positive people who believe in moving forward and moving on. But are you really moving on? Ask yourself that question, because 7 years in Idaho winters with no hat, that is not moving on. That is letting a 12-year-old's mindset and a 12-year-old's emotional capacity determine my life at age 44. Yes, I'm 44. Anyway, so think about that. Ask yourself the hard questions, because if you really want to succeed in 2017, if you really want to bring your A game, and whatever success means to you, if it means you get your house clean, don't forget I've got a course on that, and I actually have links now, so I'm very excited about that. If it means that you get a new job, if it means that you do better at the job you're in, or you get a promotion, or just you have a savings plan, whatever success in 2017 means to you, ask yourself whether something might be holding you back that you don't even consciously think about. Okay? Have a wonderful day, guys. I'm going to take the hat off. I love you, Jamie.